One single accusation. 30 seconds for your whole life to fall apart. Zero chance to defend yourself. But there's a recording nobody wanted to watch, until a billionaire decided to hit play. What he found on those cameras made everyone freeze. Stay until the end to see how the truth flips the script when you least expect it. Maya Torres wakes up at 5:30 in the morning in her one-bedroom apartment in Oak Cliff, Dallas. She makes breakfast for Lily, her 5-year-old daughter, and mentally lines up the day, drop Lily at daycare at 7, catch the 21 bus to work, shift from 8 to 4. At 28, Maya carries alone the weight of being a single mom. 2 years ago, when Lily's father disappeared without paying a dime of child support, she turned her psychology degree into something that could actually pay the bills. A job as a waitress at the Meridian Grill, a high-end restaurant downtown. It's 8:15. Maya crosses the industrial kitchen in her spotless uniform. White shirt, black apron, hair tied back. The smell of bacon and scrambled eggs fills the air. Chef Marco greets her. "Morning, Maya. Table 12 is your VIP today." "Thanks, Marco. Already on my radar." She smiles, but her eyes show the truth. She's exhausted. She slept barely 4 hours. Lily had a fever the night before. 11:45. The restaurant is packed. Maya balances a tray with 6 plates, orders for the executives at table 8. As she crosses the dining room, she feels something slippery under her shoe near the beverage station. Her reflexes save her from falling, but 2 mineral water glasses slide off the tray and shatter on the floor. Derek Harrison, the floor supervisor, rushes over. "Maya, what just happened here?" "Derek, there was something on the floor. I almost slipped. I'm sorry about the glasses. I'll clean it up now." Derek looks around and lowers his voice. "You realize we have VIP clients today? This area was clean 10 minutes ago." Other employees watch. Maya feels the weight of their eyes. 12:30. Maya is in the service hallway when Derek returns with Sandra Klein, the general manager. Sandra's face is tight. "Maya, I need to talk to you. Now." They walk to a small office in the back. Sandra sits, but doesn't offer Maya a chair. "Derek told me about the incident, but that's not all. We checked the beverage station inventory. We're missing 3 bottles of Veuve Clicquot champagne. Each one costs $85. You were responsible for that area today." Maya feels the floor vanish underneath her. "Sandra, I didn't take any champagne. I just broke 2 glasses of water. This doesn't make sense. The inventory was correct yesterday. This morning Derek did the count and reviewed it with you. You signed the sheet." "I signed because Derek asked? I didn't check bottle by bottle. He said everything was fine." Derek cuts in. "Maya, are you saying I lied during the count?" Sandra crosses her arms. "This is serious. That's over $250 in loss. The company has a zero-tolerance policy." 1 in the afternoon. Maya is in the locker room shaking. She grabs her phone and sees a message from daycare. "Lily is okay. Her fever is gone." Tears start falling. She thinks, rent is due in 5 days. The electric bill is overdue. She has no savings. Losing this job means losing everything. Jessica, a co-worker, walks in. "Maya, everybody's talking. What happened?" "They accused me of stealing champagne." "Jess, I swear I didn't." "I believe you. But you know how it is here. Derek and Sandra cover for each other. If they decided it was you—" Maya closes her eyes. She knows Jessica is right. What Maya doesn't know is that the accusation has already traveled 3 levels up the chain. An email was sent to corporate, and that email landed in the inbox of someone nobody expected to care. Richard Castellano, the billionaire owner of all 47 Meridian restaurants across the United States. Why would a man who moves millions a day care about 3 bottles of champagne? The answer lies in his past, and it's about to change everything. 2 p.m., same day. Corporate headquarters at Preston Center, Dallas. 20th floor of a mirrored building with a panoramic view of the city. Richard Castellano is in his office. 52, tailored gray suit, perfectly combed salt and pepper hair. He's reviewing expansion contracts when his assistant, Thomas, steps in. "Mr. Castellano, we received an incident report from the Dallas downtown unit. Employee accused of theft." Richard looks up. "Why is this coming to me?" "It's protocol when it involves possible termination for cause. The employee verbally contested it, but management already decided on dismissal." Richard picks up the file. He reads the name, Maya Torres, waitress. 2 years with the company. Accusation. Theft of 3 champagne bottles. Value, $255. He pauses, looks out the window. Memories hit. 35 years ago, Richard was 17. He worked as a bag boy in a supermarket in Houston. A manager accused him of stealing cash from the register, $50. Richard was innocent, but nobody believed him. He was fired. The accusation followed him. Nobody wanted to hire him. It was his mother, working double shifts as a cleaner, who convinced the store owner to check the cameras. 2 months later, they discovered the manager himself had falsified the report to cover his own mistake. 2 months. Long enough for Richard to almost give up on everything. Richard looks again at the paper. Thomas, I want the names of the manager and supervisor responsible for this case. Sandra Klein and Derek Harrison, sir. And were the security cameras reviewed? Thomas scans the file. There's no mention of that in the report. Richard closes the folder. Schedule a meeting with them tomorrow at 8 a.m. And I want full access to the last 48 hours of footage from the restaurant. Yes, sir. May I ask why? The amount is relatively low for... Richard interrupts sharply. Because $250 can destroy someone's life when they have nothing. And I'm not letting that happen unless I'm absolutely sure. Meanwhile, at the restaurant, Maya finishes her shift. She receives the news. She's suspended until further notice. The investigation will be concluded within 24 hours. Sandra watches her leave. Derek, are you sure the inventory was correct this morning? 100%. I checked it myself. Because if there's any mistake, this lands on our heads. Derek stays firm. There's no mistake. She signed the sheet. It's on her. But while Derek talks, something flickers in his eyes. A tiny hesitation. Something Sandra doesn't notice. But the cameras caught perfectly. 7 p.m. Maya is home. Lily sleeps on the couch while Maya looks at her bank app. $342. Rent is $900. If she's fired, she won't even qualify for unemployment. It'll be for cause. She thinks about calling her mother in New Mexico, but her mom can barely support herself with her retirement check. Maya opens her old laptop and starts searching for job openings. Every listing demands references from previous employment. How is she supposed to explain a termination for theft? The phone rings. Unknown number. Hello? Maya Torres? Yes. This is Thomas Brennan, executive assistant to Mr. Richard Castellano. Mr. Castellano would like to meet with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. at the corporate office to discuss the reported incident. Maya freezes. The owner of the company wants to see me? Correct. Address? Preston Tower, Suite 2001. Please be punctual. The call ends. Maya stares at the phone. She doesn't know if this is good or bad. Why would the billionaire owner of dozens of restaurants care about her case? She doesn't sleep the entire night. 8 a.m. Corporate meeting room. Sandra and Derek sit, uncomfortable. Richard walks in with Thomas and Marcus Webb, head of corporate security. Richard sits. Morning. Let's get straight to it. I received the report on Maya Torres. Derek, can you explain exactly how the inventory discrepancy was discovered? Derek straightens his tie. Of course, Mr. Castellano. Yesterday morning at 8, I did the standard count at the beverage station. Everything was correct. At 11:30, Maya was responsible for the area during the lunch rush. At 12:30, when I rechecked, 3 bottles of Veuve Clicquot were missing. And you actually saw Maya handling those bottles specifically? Derek hesitates. Not directly, but she was the only one with access during that time frame. Richard turns to Sandra. Sandra, why weren't the security cameras reviewed before formally accusing an employee? Sandra turns pale. Sir, we followed standard protocol. Inventory count is considered sufficient evidence when there's a designated person responsible. Reviewing cameras would take time and... Time? Richard cuts in. Firing someone without concrete proof seems more problematic than spending a few hours watching footage. Marcus, did you bring the material? Marcus connects a laptop to the 60-inch wall TV. Yes, sir. I separated the recordings from 3 cameras covering the beverage station and the storage from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. yesterday. Richard stands. Let's watch. The video starts. 7 a.m. The camera shows the beverage station empty. Derek walks into frame holding a clipboard. He opens the refrigerated cabinet where the premium drinks are stored, counts the bottles, writes something down, closes the cabinet. 8:05 a.m. Maya arrives. She greets Derek. He shows her the clipboard. She signs without checking inside the cabinet, walks out of frame. Richard pauses the video. She didn't open the cabinet. She trusted your count, Derek. Derek swallows hard. Yes, but after that, she was responsible. Keep the video rolling, Marcus. 8:15 to 11:45. Fast forward. Several employees pass through the station. Maya appears multiple times grabbing regular drinks, sodas, juices, water. She never opens the refrigerated cabinet with the premium bottles. 11:46. Maya walks past the station with the tray, slips, and the glasses break. Richard pauses again. Marcus, go back 30 seconds. The video rewinds. 11:45. A kitchen worker walks through the area carrying a box. He bumps into a bottle of olive oil on the counter. The bottle falls. The liquid spreads across the floor. The employee looks around, sees no one, and slips away quickly. 15 seconds later, Maya walks through the same spot. Slips. Sandra and Derek say nothing. Richard looks at Derek. So there was something on the floor. She was telling the truth. Derek tries to compose himself. Sir, that explains the glasses, but it doesn't explain the champagne bottles. You're right. It doesn't. Not yet. Marcus, move forward to the noon count. 12:32. Derek returns to the station. He opens the refrigerated cabinet, counts the bottles. His expression changes. He counts again, looks around, picks up his phone and calls someone. Richard pauses. Zoom in on his face, Marcus. The image enlarges. Derek is clearly nervous. His lips form words silently, but easy enough to read. We have a problem. Richard turns to Derek. Who were you talking to? Derek is sweating. I called Sandra to report that something was wrong. Right. But here's something interesting, Derek. You counted the bottles twice. Why would someone do that if they were sure about the morning count? Derek doesn't answer. Richard sits again. Marcus, go back to the 7 a.m. footage, but this time, show the hallway camera leading to the storage room. A new angle appears. 6:47 a.m. The hallway is empty. 6:53. Derek enters the frame. He walks to the storage door, unlocks it, goes inside. Marcus advances frame by frame. He stayed in there for 7 minutes and 12 seconds. Richard raises an eyebrow. 7 minutes to count bottles? Derek is now completely pale. Marcus continues. And here's something interesting, sir. He plays Derek leaving the storage room. Derek is carrying a black trash bag. Not very full, but definitely with something inside. Richard stands. Marcus, did you check the outside trash? We did. Yesterday's garbage was already collected, but I spoke with the cleaning crew. They confirmed there was no disposal of broken bottles in yesterday's log. Silence floods the room. Richard looks directly at Derek. Derek Harrison, you have 30 seconds to tell me what was in that bag. Derek opens his mouth, closes it, opens it again. His voice comes out shaky. There was an error in the stock. From last week, 3 bottles that were served at a private event but never logged in the system. I found out yesterday morning when I did the full audit. I tried to correct it manually, but I messed up the sheet. Sandra stares at him, stunned. Derek, you're telling me the stock was already wrong when you had Maya sign? Derek lowers his eyes. I thought I could fix it before anyone noticed. But when I did the count again at noon, I realized I'd made it worse. I panicked. Richard crosses his arms. So you decided to blame an innocent employee to cover your mistake. I didn't. It wasn't supposed to go that far. I just needed time to destroy the life of a single mother who had nothing to do with your incompetence? Richard's voice is pure ice. Derek drops his head. Sandra tries to intervene. Mr. Castellano, I didn't know any of this. Derek reported the situation as a clear discrepancy and Richard lifts a hand. Sandra, you're the general manager. Your responsibility is to make sure investigations are done properly before ruining someone's reputation. You failed. He turns to Thomas. Where is Maya Torres? Arriving now, sir. She's in the reception area. Richard takes a deep breath. Bring her in. Derek, Sandra, you will apologize to her personally, and then we'll discuss the consequences of your actions. 9 a.m. Maya walks into the meeting room. She's wearing her best outfit, black slacks and a simple white blouse. She's nervous but standing tall. She sees Derek and Sandra. They can't look her in the eye. Richard stands and extends his hand. Maya, I'm Richard Castellano. Thank you for coming. Please have a seat. Maya shakes his hand, confused by his kindness. Mr. Castellano, I don't understand why I'm here. You're here because an injustice was committed against you, and I don't tolerate injustices in my companies. He sits. Maya, We spent the last few hours reviewing all security footage from the day of the incident, and we found some important things. He nods to Marcus, who starts the video. Maya watches in silence. She sees the kitchen worker knock over the oil, sees herself slip. Her hands shake slightly. I told them there was something on the floor. Nobody believed me. I know, and I'm sorry for that. Richard then shows the footage of Derek in the storage room. The bag, the nervous noon count. Maya looks at Derek, stunned. You knew the stock was wrong? And you still made me sign? Derek finally lifts his eyes. Maya, I'm sorry. I made a mistake and tried to cover it up. I never should have dragged you into it. You didn't just drag me into it. You were about to cost me my job, my daughter. I have no one. If I lost this job, we'd lose everything. Maya's voice is controlled, but her eyes fill with tears. Sandra stands. Maya, on behalf of management, I deeply apologize. I failed to conduct a proper investigation. You didn't deserve any of this. Maya wipes her tears quickly. Apologies don't pay my rent. Apologies don't explain to my daughter why her mom cries every night. Richard steps in. Maya, you're absolutely right. Apologies aren't enough. That's why we're taking concrete action. He opens a folder. First, you are completely cleared of any accusation. Your record will be wiped clean and an official letter of retraction issued. Second, you will receive financial compensation equal to 3 months of salary for the distress caused. Third, we're offering you a promotion. Maya blinks. Promotion? Yes. We're launching a new internal audit and transparency program across all our units. We need someone who understands ground-level operations, has proven integrity, and isn't afraid to call out mistakes. Someone like you. He slides a document across the table. The position is Quality and Compliance Coordinator. Starting salary $55,000 a year, plus full benefits, including health coverage for you and Lily. You'd report directly to corporate. Maya picks up the paper with trembling hands. She reads the numbers. Reads again. I don't know what to say. Say whether you're interested. Maya looks at Derek and Sandra, then at Richard. Why are you doing this? You don't even know me. Richard leans back. Because when I was 17, I was accused of stealing $50 from the supermarket where I worked. I was innocent. The manager lied to cover his own mistake. I was fired. No one would hire me. He pauses. My mother worked double shifts for 2 months until she convinced the owner to review the cameras. When they found the truth, the manager was fired and I got my apology. But those 2 months almost broke me. I swore that if I ever had the power to stop this from happening to someone else, I would. Maya wipes her eyes. I accept. 2 days later, Maya returns to the restaurant, but now with a new badge, Quality and Compliance Coordinator. She's nervous. She knows not everyone will welcome her. Derek was suspended for 2 weeks without pay. Sandra received a formal warning. They both still work there, and the atmosphere is tense. Maya walks inside. Some coworkers greet her warmly. Jessica runs to hug her. Maya, I knew you were innocent. Everybody's talking about it, but not everyone is happy. A small group of employees close to Derek watch from afar with cold expressions. Tony, one of the senior servers and Derek's close friend, approaches. So it's true. You got yourself a promotion off Derek's back. Maya looks at him. Off Derek's back. He almost made me lose everything because of a lie. Derek made a mistake. He didn't deserve to be humiliated like that. And I deserve to be called a thief? Tony crosses his arms. Look, I don't know every detail. I just know Derek's always been a good supervisor. And now you're walking around with a fancy badge while he's suspended. Maya takes a steady breath. Tony, I get that you're his friend, but facts are facts. The cameras showed exactly what happened. Cameras can be interpreted in different ways. Before Maya can respond, Sandra steps in. Tony, get back to your station. Now. Tony shoots Maya a final look before walking off. Sandra turns to Maya. Ignore him. Derek has allies here. They'll push back for a while. That's going to make my job harder. Yes, but you have corporate behind you, and you'll have my support too. I made a mistake, Maya. Let me try to make up for it. Maya nods slowly. In the following days, Maya starts rolling out the new audit system. She creates protocols where 2 people always check inventory together, sets up digital spreadsheets that automatically log who accessed what and when. But with every change, she runs into pushback. Tony forgets to fill out the forms. Other employees make sarcastic comments about pointless red tape. There's even a WhatsApp group where they complain about the boss's pet and her new rules. Maya finds out about the group when Jessica accidentally leaves her phone unlocked. "Jess, what's this?" Jessica turns bright red. "Maya, I swear I don't participate. I'm only in the group because if I leave, they'll cut me out of everything." Maya scrolls through the messages. Maya thinks she's better than everyone now. She probably made up the whole story just to get that promotion. Derek should sue her for defamation. Maya feels a knot in her throat. They really think I lied? Jessica snatches the phone back. Not everyone, just Derek's circle. But they're influential here. Other people are starting to doubt too. That night, Maya calls Richard. "Mr. Castellano, I need to talk." "Of course, Maya. What happened?" She tells him about the resistance, the comments, the WhatsApp group. Richard listens quietly. "Maya, change always faces resistance, especially when it shines a light on flaws in the old system. But you're doing the right thing. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like I just made everything worse. Do you want to quit?" Maya thinks of Lily, of the new salary, of the opportunity. "No." "Then keep going, and tomorrow I'll pay the restaurant a visit. It's time to make a few things clear." Next day, 10 a.m. Richard Castellano walks into the Meridian Grill with Thomas and the HR director, Patricia Owens. He asks all employees to gather in the main dining room. The restaurant isn't open to the public yet. 32 employees crowd together. Derek is there, tense. Sandra stands beside Maya. Richard steps up onto a small platform. "Good morning, everyone. I came here myself because I need to clear a few things up." He scans the room. "Many of you have worked here for years. You know Derek, you trust him, and you're confused about what happened last week, so I'm going to be completely transparent." Richard signals to Thomas, who projects the security footage on the wall. "These are the recordings that prove, beyond any doubt, that Maya Torres was falsely accused. Derek Harrison made a mistake in the inventory and tried to cover it up by blaming an innocent employee." He pauses. "I'm not here to publicly humiliate Derek. He's already faced consequences. But I am here to make it crystal clear that this behavior is not tolerated under any circumstances." Tony raises his hand. "Mr. Castellano, with all due respect, mistakes happen." Derek panicked. "Does that really justify destroying his career?" Richard looks straight at Tony. "Tony, right? Let me ask you something. If you were in Maya's place, with a 5-year-old daughter, bills to pay, no safety net, and someone lied to make you lose your job, would you say it was just a mistake?" Tony hesitates. It's not the same thing." "It's not? Why not?" "Because Derek is a supervisor. He had more to lose." Richard shakes his head. "Tony, that's exactly the mindset we need to change. No one is above the truth. I don't care about the title, and employees in more vulnerable positions deserve more protection, not less." He turns to the whole group. "Maya didn't make anything up. She didn't manipulate anything. She simply refused to accept an injustice. And because of that, she was not only cleared, she was promoted. Because that's the kind of person we want in leadership. Someone with integrity." Patricia Owens steps forward. "On top of that, after a full audit, we found other irregularities over the last 6 months. Small inventory errors that were covered up or poorly documented. Nothing as serious as this case, but it shows a pattern of lack of rigor." Sandra goes pale. Patricia continues. "As a result, management in this unit will undergo mandatory training, and the entire control system is being redesigned under Maya's supervision." Richard points to the new protocols projected on the wall. "These new processes might feel like extra bureaucracy, but they exist to protect all of you. No one will be accused again without clear evidence. No one will be able to fiddle with inventory without leaving a trace. Transparency protects the innocent and exposes the guilty." He makes eye contact with each person. "If anyone here has a problem with this, with Maya's promotion, or with the new rules, my door is open. But understand this. Resisting these changes is resisting integrity, and that will not be tolerated." Silence. Absolute. Richard steps down from the platform and walks over to Maya. "Maya, the restaurant is yours to implement whatever is needed. You have my full support." Maya nods, more confident now. In the following weeks, the resistance dies down. Tony eventually apologizes. Other employees start seeing the value of the new protocols when real mistakes get flagged and corrected quickly, without pinning blame on the wrong person. Derek comes back from suspension. He's demoted to server. He isn't fired, but he's no longer a supervisor. He and Maya eventually talk. Maya, I really am sorry. There's no excuse for what I did. No, there isn't. But I accept that you messed up and you're trying to fix it. You didn't have to give me a second chance. Richard gave me one. I'd be a hypocrite not to do the same. 3 months later, Maya is at her new desk at corporate. She now oversees quality audits for 5 Meridian units across Texas. Richard calls her into a meeting. Maya, I want to talk about expanding the program. He shows her a map with all 47 Meridian locations. The results in Texas have been excellent. We reduced inventory discrepancies by 87%. Workplace complaints are down 43%. And most importantly, employee satisfaction went up. Maya smiles. People want to be treated fairly. When we build transparent systems, everybody wins. Exactly. That's why I want you to lead the national rollout. Maya blinks. National? That means lots of travel, at least for the next 6 months while we train local coordinators, but it also means another raise. $75,000 a year? And a performance-based bonus? Maya does the math in her head. It's more money than she ever imagined earning. Richard, 3 months ago I was about to be fired, and now you're asking me to lead a national program? You've proven your worth, not just your integrity, your ability to implement real change. You have something they don't teach in an MBA. Genuine empathy combined with competence. Maya takes a deep breath. And Lily? I can't just leave her alone while I travel. I already thought about that. The company will cover full-time childcare, and when you travel, we'll keep trips short, 2 or 3 days max. You can bring Lily when it makes sense. Maya feels her eyes welling up. Why? Why are you doing all this for me? Richard leans back in his chair. Because Maya, when I was 17 and falsely accused, someone could have done what I'm doing now, but no one did. It took 2 months and my mother's persistence to clear my name. 2 months that left scars. He pauses. I promised that if I ever got into a position of power, I'd use that power to build systems where injustices like that don't happen. But systems alone aren't enough. I need people who believe in this too. People like you. Maya wipes her eyes. I'm in. I'll make it count. I know you will. In the months that follow, Maya travels to New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Miami. In each city, she trains teams, sets up the new protocols, and shares her story. Employees connect with her. It's not just theory. It's someone who lived through an injustice and now is building safeguards. At a unit in Seattle, a young waitress approaches her after a training session. Maya, can I ask you something personal? Of course. Didn't you get angry? Like, want revenge on Derek? Maya thinks. At first, yeah, I was furious. But then I realized anger doesn't build anything. Derek messed up, he paid for it, but he's not a monster. He's a human being who panicked and made awful choices. The waitress nods. It's just... A month ago, my supervisor tried to pin his own mistake on me. But with the new systems, it was clear it wasn't my fault. He got written up and I was cleared. And now I'm thinking, should I demand that he be fired? Maya shakes her head slightly. That's your call. But I can tell you what worked for me. I focused on building a system where that can't happen again. Getting revenge on one person doesn't change the culture. Changing the system does. The waitress smiles. Thank you. That helps. 1 year after the incident, Maya is at home in a bigger apartment in uptown Dallas. 2 bedrooms, city view. Lily has her own room, covered in princess and dinosaur posters. It's Saturday morning. Maya is making pancakes while Lily draws at the kitchen table. Mommy, are you working today? No, honey, today is just us. Lily grins. Can we go to the park? Of course, and after that, how about pizza? Yes. Maya's phone rings. It's Richard. Hey Richard, everything okay? Maya, sorry to call on a Saturday, but I've got some news. Good or bad? Good. Very good. Forbes is doing a piece on corporate culture transformation. They want to interview you. Maya almost drops the spatula. Forbes? They want to interview me? Yes. The program rollout was so successful we became a case study. They want to know how a waitress turned into an organizational change leader in under a year. Maya sits down. I don't know if I'm ready for that level of exposure. You are. And Maya, this goes beyond you. It's about showing that companies can do the right thing, that giving talented people a real chance, no matter where they started, actually works. Maya looks at Lily. Can I think about it? Of course, but don't take too long. They want to publish next month. After hanging up, Maya thinks. A year ago she was desperate, about to lose everything. Today she's in a place she never imagined. That night, after putting Lily to bed, Maya opens her laptop. She writes an email to Richard. I'll do the interview, but on one condition. I want the focus to be on the system, not on me. I want other companies to see that building transparency and fairness isn't just the right thing to do. It's good for business. Richard replies within minutes. Perfect. That's exactly what I hoped you'd say. 2 months later, the article comes out. The headline, How a False Accusation Sparked a Corporate Revolution. The story of Maya Torres and Richard Castellano. The piece makes waves. Other companies start reaching out for help implementing similar systems. Maya gets offers to speak at events. But the most meaningful moment comes 3 weeks after publication. Maya gets a LinkedIn message from a woman named Carla Rodriguez. Maya, thank you. 2 weeks ago, I was accused of stealing money at the restaurant where I work. I was ready to give up. But I read your story. I showed it to my manager. He agreed to review the cameras. They found out it was an error in the POSE system. I was cleared. If you hadn't shared your story, I would have just accepted the termination and walked away carrying that accusation. Thank you for giving me the courage to fight. Maya reads the message 3 times, wipes her eyes. She replies, Carla, you don't owe me any thanks. You fought for yourself. Keep doing that. And if one day you get the chance to help someone in the same situation, do it. That's how we change things. Maya saves the message, prints it out and pins it to her office wall. It's a reminder. One person doing the right thing can create ripples that reach way further than they'll ever see. Transparency isn't just a technical feature. It's a safeguard that keeps snap judgments from wrecking people's lives. Maya Torres didn't need to be a hero. She just needed someone to pause for 30 seconds and ask, are we really seeing the whole story? Richard Castellano didn't need to play savior. He just needed to remember what it felt like to be on the other side of a false accusation. And Derek Harrison didn't need to be the villain. He just needed a system that wouldn't let him make terrible decisions under pressure. In the end, it's not about good people or bad people. It's about building structures where truth weighs more than fear, where power doesn't shield lies, and where transparency is guaranteed, not optional. Sometimes all it takes is someone willing to hit play on the cameras everyone else chose to ignore. If you like this story, leave a like and subscribe. And remember, in your life, in your workplace, in your everyday decisions, always question, always look for evidence. Never accept accusations without proof. The next Maya Torres might be closer than you think.